Hey, this is Demi.
And I'm Louise. Let's talk about the same things that we go through and ponder life from a better angle.
As they say, if you can change your situation, change your perspective. This is Same But Better Podcast. Yon! Last week, bloopers lang tayo. Nakakatuwang makita yung mga kalokohan
Parang
natin.
bloopers ka pa rin ngayon.
Hanggang ngayon. Saka alam mo, moms, kahit na challenging ang 2021, I am happy. Wow. Na ituloy lang yung kwentuhan natin sa buhay-buhay here on our Same But Better podcast. And we really need that right headspace, no? Lalo na it's been, ewan ko, parang sobrang busy ng mga tao lately. So ayan, welcome back sa ating lahat.
Saktong-sakto nagkakwento ka sa akin. Parang busy-busy ng araw-araw ko. So, ayan, dinig nyo naman, Season 2, bagong intro, script, structure, template ng video format, even our podcast icon. Kung makikita nyo, hindi ko alam kasi tuturo.
Bago!
Kung makikita nyo, ayan, parang bagong bihes at fresh na fresh. Ayan, so, we're starting fresh this Season 2 and today is episode 21.
Yeah. Alam mo na pag-usapan natin today ang value of listening. Especially, puro Zoom meetings, Viber calls, and even chat na lang, di ba?
Right.
So, in this episode, we will be exchanging thoughts about listening as a skill that we can use to nurture our relationships in our friendships, sa family natin, and especially sa work din.
Yeah, if today's topic sounds interesting to you, make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. Also, if this is your first time listening to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube, we talk about fresh perspective on career, relationships, faith, personal growth, kahit ano pa. Subscribe to us so you'll be notified every time we upload a new episode.
So, since we're living in an online world, I'm sure marami sa atin, countless na yung online meetings nyo. Your calls, chats, group chats, di ba? Daming group chats. Napagod.
Oo na.
Grabe. Part na siya ng buhay natin. Di mo na siya matatanggal. So, alam mo, dahil online siya, it also takes non-verbal cues to really listen. Minsan nga, ang bilis nyo nang magbasa, you're not even paying attention anymore eh. So, even pandemic pa, I feel like we talk more than we listen, 'di ba? And it also affects the quality of our relationships.
Totoo yun, even before the pandemic, parang mas maraming tao ang mahilig magsalita kaysa makinig. And dahil nga online na lang, nawala yung non-verbal cues as you were saying. So, dati, titignan mo pa kung nagpabango ba siya today, okay ba yung look niya, yung presentation niya, ano yung message niya, pag pinusent yung sarili niya. Ngayon, parang, ganito na lang. Ganito na lang. What you see is what you get. Oo. As minsan, akala mo nakatingin sa'yo yung tao, pero may iba palang ginagawa. So, hindi talaga pareho yung quality of listening. Today, sa example na masasabi ko today, say may friend ka na tuwing nag-vent out siya, malaki man or maliit na bagay, you're there. Yes, present ka. Kikinig ka, kikisimpatya ka. Pero when you try na ikaw naman yung mag-share, kasi may pinagdadaanan ka din naman sa buhay, di ba? Ay, parang 60-second commercial break lang. Back to you! Balik tayo sa issues ni friend. So parang, may iwan na feeling sa'yo na, ay, sana hindi nila ako nag-share. Sometimes you'd feel like, I just exposed a part of myself na it needed support, pero the response was underwhelming. Yeah. In those times, ako personally, I felt that way na it could make you feel like dismissed or unimportant because of the lack of attention and interest.
Ay, ramdam kita dyan. Kasi, ang hirap parang, uy, ako naman. Penging airtime.
Oo.
Oo. Pero alam mo, sometimes, may conversations tayo na they try. They try naman They give you advice, diba? Pero parang cookie cutter lang. Parang may masabi lang para lang tumigil ka. Ganyan.
Aray!
Parang, sige na, ito na yung advice ko sa'yo, take a heart, o kaya follow your dreams, mga ganyan. Sige lang, go. Pero, pag hindi talaga sila nakikinig, hindi tumutugma yung advice, it won't work for you. And ikaw din, parang mararamdaman mo, alam simpatya yung friend ko na to. Just because this person was not listening to you genuinely. Alam mo yun? And on the surface, madali lang namang makinig eh. Like right now, we're talking and you're listening, you
Yeah.
hear me, di ba?
I do.
You do? Pag may nagsasalita, you just, quiet ka lang. You really, makikinig ka lang sa kanya. But if you think about it, listening is not just hearing. Hearing iba siya from listening. Kasi listening, it
Yeah.
requires you focus dun sa speaker, kung sino man yung kausap mo, your presence of mind. And I bet, no, marami sa atin nagagawa to na habang nakikinig ka to a conversation, yung mind mo, nag-iisip ka na ng isasagot mo dun sa kaibigan mo. Naghahanap ka na dun sa archives of advice, archives of memory, di ba? To the point na your mind is so occupied, you're not listening anymore.
So, ang nangyayari kadalasan, no, nagiging selective tayo sa pakikinig. Which, hindi naman may iwasan for some. Kasi, baka nga naman question and answer portion pala yung hinihingi sa'yo. Pero, yun, kahit minsan di klaro yung pakikinig mo eh. Tatango ka, kunwari. Para kunwari naintindihan mo. Okay. Pero ang naalala mo, yung sinabi niya pa a few sentences ago. Ayun, bits and pieces na lang yung nakukuha natin. And ang masama pa, kaya pala hindi mo rin marinig yung sinasabi ng ibang tao. Kasi sa isip mo, gusto mong magsingit ng kwento. Gusto mong i-relate yung sarili mong kwento from what your friend is saying. So aside from sa sinabi mo kanina na nag-iisip ka na ng response, may iba naman, nag-iisip na kung paano ito-turn sa kanila yung
spotlight.
Direction ng conversation. Oo, uy, relate ako dyan. Tapos parang yung kwento, ala na. Nasa kanya na. Oo. Hirap!
Hirap naman!
Hirap naman mag-vent out!
Hanap ako ibang friends! Ganyan.
Lahat kayo!
With all that said, no, for you ba, Louise, what will it take or what does it take for us to listen effectively?
Wow, effectively.
Effectively. Spell.
E? For me, nag-shrink pa yung voice. For me, anyway, for me, listening is it's giving your time and undivided attention to the person. So, keyword ko dito is undivided. Yan. So, lend your 2 ears sa tao. Kung may naisip kang advice, wait lang, hindi pa tapos yung kwento. Diba? Set aside muna natin yan. Kinig ka muna para alam mo rin yung buong context. Minsan kasi nag-a-advise tayo, we're jumping into conclusions na akala natin that's the fit advice for the person, pero hindi pala natin nakita na solve na pala yung problema niya. Solve na pala yung problema ng tao. Okay na pala yung mga natawag-daanan nila. Tapos ikaw, nag-iisip ka pa ng solusyon. Eh, hindi naman pala hinihingi yun sa'yo.
Share lang ako eh.
Bida-bida ka eh. Pali. Joke lang. Pero yun. Meron sa proverb actually, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. So, kung may mga Bible geeks dyan, Proverbs 18:2, yung sinabi natin. So, kung may naalala kang story na related din, katulad na mention natin kanina, mamaya mo na siya sabihin kapag turn mo na.
Louise, may share ako.
Ay! Teka lang, Demi! Ako pa eh! Application agad. Hirap! Ayan. Pero ako hirap na hirap ako makapag-usap sa taong may cellphone na hawak. Or kaya may ibang ginagawa. Appreciate ko yung mga yung dati, wala pang pandemic. Yung pupunta ng coffee shop, tapos naka-silent yung phone, nakalagay sa bag. Yan. Tapos, nag-uusap lang talaga kayo, like, magkatapatan kayo and all. Diba? Tapos parang, hindi ka nakikipaglaban sa attention. Kasi alam mo na, sa'yo nakatingin yung tao. Di ba makikita mo rin na naka-lean over siya sa'yo. Meaning, she's really interested with what you're saying. She's really focused. Pero ngayon, parang mag-turn off ka lang ng camera mo sa Zoom o kaya sa Messenger. Hindi mo na alam kung yung tao nakikinig pa ba or baka nasa CR na, baka kumakain. Hindi natin alam. Baka kaloka yung mga panahon na to eh. Ayan. So parang, even when you said na catch up tayo via Zoom, ganyan, sometimes, ako I feel, nakikipaglaban pa rin sa attention eh. Kasi minsan may kausap, may dumadaan, parang, kwento pa ba ako or busy ka? Parang ganon. Pero anyway, may nakita kong viral video, speaking of that, parang online class, tapos yung student, naglalaro siya ng COD? Hindi ko alam yung meaning nun.
Call of
Clash.
Duty.
Clash of something sabihin. Mali! Call of Duty pala. Anyway, so yung prof niya, nakamute pala yung class nila, tapos yung mic niya, hindi nakamute.
Very good.
So, hindi niya narinig yung class niya, pero siya, nagta-trash talk siya kasama ng mga kalaro niya. Yung prof niya galit na, hey, are you listening? Ganyan. Please call his attention. Classmates, call his attention. Ayan, so, kakaloka, no?
Grabe
Yung,
naman. Pero alam mo, parang ano lang yun. Sorry, natatawa.
bakit?
Parang ano lang yun eh. Yung may na-add to cart ka habang nagmi-meeting.
Ikaw ba yan?
Sada.
Shopee!
Ay. Ayun na nga. Sige, palipasin na natin yun. Baka mabuking ako. Pero hindi, alam mo, if it helps lang din, di ba? We set our environment right. Kasi right now, ito yung setting natin eh. Pandemic pa rin naman and the online life is here. Set your environment right para kung alam mo na may kausap ka, ayan, kunyari, kakausapin ko si Louise today.
Yes.
Hindi ko siya gagawin sa baba kung saan nandun lahat ng mga tao. Diba? And tago mo lahat ng magdi-distract sa'yo. Kung ano man yung alam mong makita mo lang na ano agad yung attention mo. So hopefully, you know, help ourselves lang din to actually preserve yung mga relationships natin na hindi natin kasama sa bahay. So, ayun. And sa akin naman, I truly believe na genuine listening does not involve judgment. O yan, wag niyo na akong husgahan. Ayan. Diba may mga ano tayo, parang preconception natin na dapat yan, itabi mo muna. Kasi minsan, kahit yung person pa lang, wala pa nga sinasabi, meron ka ng preconception na, ay, itong person na to, Kristiyano to, hindi na ako, naku, baka kung ano lang. Alam mo yon, ang dami mo nang agad sinabi, hindi pa nga siya nagsasalita eh. Paano kung yung person na actually needs your help and needs advice from you? So, para naman makapag-share yung person ng mas malaya. Kasi parang kapag in-announce mo rin yung preconceptions mo, para siyang chain na, ay, okay, dapat ganito pala ako kasi ito yung expectation sa akin. So, minsan, may mga judgment din tayo na alam mo posibleng sasabihin ng friend mo, but put it at the back of your mind muna. Kasi sige, may pwedeng yung judgment natin may basis, baka isabihin nyo sa akin na, alam ko na yan, dati kasi ganyan ang ginawa niyan, ganyan. Lagay mo muna sa likod, diba? Bigyan natin ng opportunity yung friends natin na mag-speak. Same with you. Would you want people na lagi kang pangunahan? Diba?
Kinakat.
Oo. So, bigyan natin sila ng opportunity. So, minsan, dahil dyan, yung sense tuloy ng mga nakakausap natin, ng friends natin, na, ay, feeling ko mababaw lang naman tong problema na to. So, hindi ko na lang sasabihin. Diba? And then, we wonder, bakit kaya ganito na yung friend ko? So, set aside natin yung mga ano natin, judgment natin. Minsan naman, bago magkwento yung friend mo, headline pa lang yung alam mo. Diba? For example, hindi ako na-promote or hindi ka na-promote or nag-break kami, ganyan. Naku, magaling ka. Diba? Ang dami mo ng lecture and advice. Hindi pa nga siya nagkukwento. Diba? Headline pa lang. So, yung mga ganyang sitwasyon na nakaka-shut off yun. So, sa iba na lang sila mag-open up. Diba? And remember, it is also said in the Bible, diba, na quick to hear. Pwede rin namang listen. Quick to hear, slow to speak. Sana, alamin muna natin yung sitwasyon ng friends natin. At pamustahin muna natin sila. Yeah. Diba? Ang hirap mag-open up pag pakiramdam natin na ang critical nung nakikinig sa atin. So, yun lang. Set aside muna natin yung judgments natin. Let them share their story.
Kapag may mga speaking critical, parang feeling mo, alam mo yung nag-open up ka sa friend mo, tapos ang lahat ng ginawa niya, naghanap siya ng fault mo. Gusto ko na mag-open up. Parang feeling mo na-judge ka. Although, may times naman talaga na may fault ka. Pero, parang, ano ba to? Ba't ako nag-open up? Feeling ko ginajudge lang ako dito.
Sisisi ka na lang.
Oo, feeling ko ginajudge lang ako dito. Feeling ko, I just exposed my weakness to this person. Which is sana hindi ganun yung maparamdam natin sa mga tao na nag-open up sa atin. Pero, ang ganda. Genuine listening does not involve judgment. Kaya, gas-gas na sa atin to sa community natin Parang, this is a safe environment. No judgment.
True.
Tayo naman, todo out tayo sa mga kwento natin. Sabi ko, safe to
mga 3 hours.
Mga 3 hours. Safe kasi. Ayan. Sana walang judgment. Sana yung, pag kunyari magko-confess pala siya ng kasalanan, ay, ba't mo ginawa yung kadiri? Yan.
Kristiyano ka ba?
Hindi ka Kristiyano. Oo, na parang, sabi na, dapat di ako nag-share. Na-judge ako Anyway, makikita rin sa, sa mukha ng nakikinig sa'yo, kung nakikinig talaga sila or naiinip sila sa kwento mo.
Ay, totoo yan.
Alam mo yon, parang straight face na siya or ganito ba talaga siya? Ganito ba talaga siya makapag-usap? Nakatunga nga lang ba talaga siya? Ayan, so, kaya ako siguro, napapansin ko sa sarili ko, pag ganun yung tao, nakikita ko na tinitipid ko na lang yung sinishare ko kasi feeling ko, abala ako sa kanila. Na parang, ay sorry
Same.
hindi ko naman alam na, hindi ko naman alam na time mo pala to for your solitude time. So, ayun, syakit, di ba? Yung mag-open up ka, you want to be vulnerable. Syempre, nag-ipon ka ng lakas para sabihin sa kanya. Tapos mamaya, yan yung kwento mo. Parang, oo, parang yung response, parang, bakit ganito yung feeling ko? Feeling ko abala ako.
Sure.
Ayan. So, gusto ko rin idagdag sa sinabi natin, aside from sa nabanggit natin at unang dalawa. And listening is also a selfless act. So, kapag good listener yung kausap mo, mararamdaman mo yun eh. May nawawala sa dibdib mo eh. May nawawala sa'yo eh, diba? Na kahit walang nagbago sa situation mo, you feel like ang luwag huminga, ang luwag sa pakiramdam. Diba? Minsan kahit wala ka nakuhang advice or anything na consolation, the fact lang na they gave you their attention, their focus, yung tipong they stopped what they were doing so they can hear you out. It has a healing effect. Yun. So, magitin ka na sa Philippians 2:3, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility, count others more significant than yourselves. So, if i-apply natin yung verse na to, we should see their problems more important than ours pala. Alam mo yung time na parang, teka lang, may problema din ako, pwede mo huwag ka sa akin mag-vent out today. Parang may ganon. So, parang, minsan dahil kaibigan mo siya, wala ka naman choice, andun ka, pero you're so resistant. Parang, di mo nakahalata to, di mo na ako kinamusta pabalik, ako din may problema, ano siya lang. Parang ganun na nasa isip mo. So parang pag nakikinig ka, tinitipid mo yung attention na binibigay mo sa kanya. Kasi you want that person to feel na, I also have my own things to be worried about. Pero yun nga, sabi sa Philippians, consider them more important, more significant than you. But it doesn't mean na walang kwenta yung mga pinagdadaanan mo, diba? So it just means that a good listener knows how to set aside and when to set aside their own things so that they could give their full attention to the one na nagsasalita. Ayan. So listening is also an act of humility. Selfless siya.
You know, I recall a time, siguro, parang, how would we paint a picture to someone na really listening and doing it as a selfless act. I remember I was carrying a lot of baggage. Wow, baggage inside.
San punta?
Diyan lang. So, yan. And emotional baggage. Baka inisip ng iba, baggage. Baka isipin talaga, saan ka punta, te? Ano yan? Emotional yan. Emotional baggage. And sometimes may mga baggage tayo na we don't actually really show people. Di ba yung mga tao na very open na, ito yung pinagdadaanan ko. And for me at that season, ayoko. Parang I'm not telling anyone about it. And I'm not telling anyone, but I want to. Kasi ang bigat na eh. Hindi ko na kaya. I wanted to open up to someone. And I don't feel like itong person na to at that time, I don't feel like willing siyang makinig. Feeling ko lang yun. So, hindi ako nag-open up sa kanya. But there was this one person, and itong person na to, nag-offer lang siya ng coffee date. And then, nung nag-coffee date kami, it just started with the simplest question lagi, which is, kamusta kayo ni Lord? So, di ba ganyan yung pag mga ganyan tanungan, tapos kape, tapos kayong dalawa lang, parang,
so, wala kang takas, no?
Nag-unload ako sa kanya, in-unload ko lahat ng baggage ko sa kanya. And, you know what? Wala siyang sinabing advice. Wala rin siyang sinabing, ako nga eh. Wala siyang siningit na kwento. Wala siyang gano'n, diba? Wala siyang mga reaction na I was thinking I would hear to someone if I share this story. Ang inisip ko, baka sabihan lang ko, ano ba yan? Ba't mo ginawa yan? Alam mo, Kristiyano ka? Ganun. Ay, ganun. You know what? She just cried with me, hugged me, and then prayed for me. And wala siyang advice, no? But that moment, I felt heard. And loved. And cherished. The joke lang.
And accepted. Celebrated. Tapos, pero kung ano man nararamdaman mo, parang healing effect, may healing effect talaga kapag nasa-share mo yung life mo with another person. Diba? Hindi lang romantically na sharing life sa parang mag-asawa, pero even with friends, we have that intimacy that we can enjoy between friends, diba?
Yeah.
So that's really healing. I like na yung friend mo, no? Kahit na simpleng tanong lang. Siguro kasi naset niya yung atmosphere na nakatingin siya sa'yo, nagtanong siya sa'yo na ikaw yung gusto niya talagang malaman, tapos nag-set siya ng time para sa'yo. Parang ano siya, nakaka-encourage na maybe this person is someone I can run to. Diba? Parang, ang sarap lang. Parang may mahigpit na yakap kahit na meron naman, may distance kayo, diba? So, that's the effect of listening, diba? And she gave you a judgment-free environment. That was really nice. For me naman, sobrang tagal na nito Like, galing pa to sa baol. Gusto ko na i-highlight. Baka kasi may mga kaibigan tayo na iniisip, sino yung kinukwento ni Demi at Louise? Baka ako yun. Sobrang tagal na ho nito. So, I opened up my personal story sa taong to. Nilulook up ko siya. Siguro as a mentor, as a counselor. Dahil hindi naman ako ganun nag-open up ng story ko na personal before. Every time that I would open it up, it's rare and my voice would crack up. Ito po yung nangyari. Ganon. Syempre, luha ka and all. So, I had the courage to finally tell somebody what happened to me, di ba? Tapos, nung tapos na akong magkwento, she started speaking. And I know she meant well with every word that she said. But, I noticed, nahirapan akong tanggapin yung mga sinasabi niya. Although I know the intention. Kasi may sinabi siyang one sentence and after nun, parang,
wala na.
What? Ang sabi niya, actually, marami na rin akong kilala na ganyan ang story. Tapos parang yung luha ko umatras. Bumalik, natuyo agad. So, alam ko naman she meant well, she was there to comfort me, and not the other way around. Pero that time, yung atake sa akin nung sinabi niya, parang, simula nung sinabi niya yun, parang nanigas ako. Parang yung katawan ko, parang, what did I just do? I just revealed myself to someone who thought of my story as a common story and nothing to be bothered with.
Right.
Kasi sometimes, especially if nakikinig tayo siguro sa atin mukhang mababaw yung pinanggalingan nila or common, hindi man mababaw, common. Pero sa kanila, it's not. It's something that took them years of courage, diba? Mastering courage para ma-share sa'yo. And hearing that response, I was like, oh my gosh. gusto kong lamunin ng lupa. Parang ganun ang isip ko. And I felt judged. I mean, put it in a different way. Kapag may nagkwento ba sa'yo ng problem about having a broken family, tapos ang i-reply sa'yo, actually, marami naman ng watak-watak ng pamilya. Anong problem? Diba? Parang, medyo gets ko na, you're not alone. Many people is also going through this. Pero, it wasn't said in that way. Parang siyang said na parang, hindi ka pa ba tapos? Ang dami na kasi may ganitong problema Parang gano'n.
Wala bang bago dyan?
Oo. So parang, if someone would tell me na watak ang pamilya nila, parang, I would still empathize, diba? So, nakaka-discourage yung ganyong response. But I don't take it against her personally. Kasi, at that time, baka rin may mga may mga blind spots din ako. So, I couldn't really remember what happened. Pero that was the feeling I remember. Anyway, I thank God kasi nung mga panahon na yon, edi medyo masama rin loob ko kasi nga parang, sige, itatago ko na lang sa sarili ko itong mga nalalaman ko. Parang ganon. But, you know what? I opened up the same story to another friend. Grabe si God, mag-provide ng another set of ears to listen to you. Nasa coffee shop kami noon, gabi, sa Malate, yan. Mga Malate pips. Yun, nag-iiyak din ako sa kanya, ganyan. Tapos, alam mo yung ginagawa niya? Parang yung boses niya, tapos hinihimas niya lang yung likod ko. Parang, I'm home. I could lament and grieve for all I care, diba? Kahit na nasa public space ko. So, akala siguro nakaka-break up ko na. So, ayun na, nakakatuwa. Wala siyang ibang sinabi. Like, the same with your friend. Itong friend ko na to, wala siyang sinabing advice or anything. And nakakatuwa, after that, she just prayed for me. So, may healing effect talaga. So, connecting it to that, I think my last point to add here is great listening involves empathy. Empathy. Yung baka hindi ka makarelate, diba? Try to see them in the way na pinanggagalingan nila. Baka skill din, hindi naman skill, pero it's a gift to actually be able to, to hear somebody and make them feel that they're heard. Iba kasi yung nakinig ka, tapos parang they don't feel heard.
Yeah.
Diba?
Baka mamaya same pala tayo ng friend.
Yun nga, iniisip ko habang nagkukwento eh. Si ano ba to? Hindi, joke lang. 1, 2,
Starts with...
Ayun.
Alam mo, talking about listening and we're trying to be better at listening. And I believe there's a person na we would say is the best listener. Hindi tayo. Wala namang iba. It's, Jesus. Jesus is the best listener. And kadalasan, yung mga problema natin and all, madalas siya yung last na kukwentuhan mo. Magkukwento ka muna sa iba't ibang tao. You get hurt, you get offended, you get disappointed. Saka ka pupunta kay Lord. Ewan ko ba sa atin, ba't ganyan nung galing
Last
natin?
option, kumbaga.
Oo. And most of, one reason na lagi sinasabi, wala tayong time. And if magkaroon tayo ng time, same. We don't give Him our full attention. Say, nagmamadali ka or what, diba? Pero, grabe no, yung dun sa mga share natin, ang laki ng difference. Kasi kapag yung person hindi talaga nakikinig sa atin, genuinely, it pushes us away eh. Ayoko na. Di na lang, di ba? Pag yung person talaga, genuinely listening, possesses good listening skills, it draws us closer to them. And if we want to be a good listener, there's no other person talaga na we can look up to but Jesus. Kasi He's the greatest listener there could be. You see, friends, kay Jesus kasi, even at times that you're not saying, He hears it. He knows it. Ikaw lang naman yung hindi eh. Ikaw lang naman yung hindi nagkukwento.
Sakit naman.
Diba? Saka, as much as we want God na, di ba may ganito tayong drama minsan? Lord, sana naririnig mo ako. Lord, sana pinapakinggan mo kami. Ang tanong ko sa'yo, friend, ikaw ba nakikinig kay Lord? Because God always listens, but are you listening to God? Yun lang. Umaarte lang.
Actually, may mga accounts sa Bible na hindi pa man din nagsasalita si Jesus, di ba? Alam na ni God yung...
What they need, yeah.
Yeah. Tayo din, pag nag-pray tayo, God knows what's actually happening. But to have a relationship, you have to talk. Really have to talk, di ba? And set time for Him. So, there's a story actually in Mark 10. Gusto ko tong story nito. It's Jesus and Bartimaeus. Natuwa ako kasi Bartimaeus is a blind beggar na nakaupo sa tabi ng kalsada. So, parang imagine, siya yung hindi natin pinapansin araw-araw, andyan lang siya, bulag, tapos nanghihingi ng barya siguro sa mga dumadaan. Ayan. Tapos nung nalaman niya na, okay, dadaan pala si Jesus sa lugar na to, nagsisisigaw siya na, Jesus, have mercy on me! Jesus, have mercy on me! Diba? And lahat ng tao, kahit ata mga disciples niya, pinapatahimik siya na parang kamingay. Pero, lalo niya nilakasan yung voice niya. So that, calling to Jesus. Nakaka-comfort dito na kahit ang dami nagsabi sa kanya na stop talking to Jesus, stop shouting, stop making a scene there. Yung part na nag-stop si Jesus, tapos pinalapit niya sa kanya. Tapos tinanong ni Jesus, what do you want me to do for you? So, parang weird, no? Nagtanong pa si Jesus. Di ba? Beggar na nga siya, Jesus eh. Bulag pa eh. Di ba? Alam mo naman lahat ng bagay. Tapos, kahit yung mga tao alam kasi nakikita na rin nila yung situation niya. And yet, you have the audacity. You have, di ba? You have this guts pa para itanong kung anong gusto niya sa'yo. Parang, hindi pa ba obvious, Jesus? Pero what I like here is, alam ni Jesus yung iniiyak ni Bartimaeus, pero he still asked. Di ba? Hindi niya sinabi na, bulag? Mahirap? Walang bahay? Alam ko, kailangan mo. Hindi siya gano'n. Hindi siya yung nag-judge or hindi siya yung pinangunahan niya. He asked and he listened. Tapos sumagot naman tong si Bartimaeus that he wanted his eyesight to be healed, to be recovered. And ending, pinagaling siya ni Jesus. So gusto ko lang i-highlight dito that Jesus heard, Jesus stopped, Jesus met him, Jesus asked and listened, and comforted the man. So pag tayo ba narinig natin yung mga tao calling out to us na parang, I need friends right now, pwede ba tayong mag-usap, pwede ba mag-vent out sa'yo? Are we like Jesus? Do we also hear? Stop? Do we meet with them where they are after stopping? Or pag nag-stop tayo, nag-stop na nga ako eh. Hindi ko lumapit sa akin, dami ko namang i-compromise para sa'yo. Hindi eh, diba? They met, diba? So nakipag-level si Jesus sa kanya. Jesus asked, what do you want? How can I help you? What is it that I can do for you? Hindi siya nag-assume. And Jesus listened. And Jesus comforted this person. So, nakakatuwa lang. Ito siguro yung magiging pamantayan ko moving forward. If I have a friend who wants a listening ear. Like, is this how Jesus would listen to this person? Diba? How would Jesus, relate with this person? So, na-encourage lang ako dun talaga.
Grabe. Nakakatawa yun, no, na, ay, ganun pala si Jesus. Ganun pala yung ginawa niya.
Best
Ang
listener
galing.
talaga.
Oo. Saka napansin ko lang din dyan, si Bartimaeus, pinur out niya yung heart niya talaga when he was calling out to Jesus. Even when people around him were like telling him na, huwag kang maingay. Ingay mo eh. Ganun. Na parang, ang gandang reminder lang din. Kasi even for us, although ngayon, actually, sarili mo nga minsan yung kalaban mo eh, na parang wag ka na mag-reach out, wag ka nang mag-pray, 'di ba? Wag mo nang tawagin si Lord, wala namang makakatulong sa'yo eh. That's yourself eh, minsan thoughts mo yan eh, 'di ba? And of course, kung may iba pang person na magpipigil sa'yo, parang gandang reminder lang din no na kung when we know that we need to, like yung emotional baggage natin that we're carrying all around, 'di ba? And we need to just surrender that. We need to talk to someone. We need to vent to someone. Do it and go to Jesus. Huwag kang magpapigil, friend. Huwag kang magpapigil. If you feel like no one's listening to you, Jesus will listen to you. We will listen to you. Kung gusto mo sa aming
Hindi lang ikaw yung nakikinig sa amin.
Oo. Diba? May mga season talaga tayo, friends, na ganyan eh. And yung iba nating friends, busy din. So, hindi natin pwedeng, iset lagi yung expectations na yan sa friends natin. So, yun, if you feel like you have nowhere else to go, so you nowhere run. If you feel like you have nowhere else to run to, at wala ka ng ibang mapagsabihan, friend, meron pa rin si Lord. He will listen to you and He is always mindful of you.
Ang totoo yan. And may isa pa tayo minsan na parang may mga tao na hindi makapag-open up. Hirap sila kasi feeling nila abala sila. Actually, we need fellowship. We need people to connect with. Hindi, sana wag natin isipin na, abala lang ako. Ayokong makapag-usap or mag-vent out kasi baka may problema rin ng tao. Natural, may problema rin ng tao na yan. Like, no doubt about it. Lahat tayo, may kanya-kanya tayong issues in life. But, the key here is, even Bartimaeus knew that Jesus has somewhere to go to. But nonetheless, Jesus, help me, have mercy on me. Jesus! Wala, he still called in this, upon his name, diba? May pupuntahan si Jesus, dadaan lang si Jesus dun sa part na kung saan siya nanghihingi ng limos eh. Pero yung friends sana natin, apart from letting them know that we are here for them, sana yung mga friends na medyo nag-isolate, ganyan, you know what? Not everyone will have that magic button on their heads na, ay, kamustahin ko kaya to? Parang, alam mo yung naghihintay na sila yung kamustahin? Ay, nobody loves me kasi wala nangangamusta sa akin. Parang, you can also reach out to people that you know could listen to you. Diba? Right. And you will find na, okay naman pala. Wala naman palang problema. Pwede pala ako mag-vent out anytime I want. And hindi ako abala sa kanila. Diba? Kasi hindi. Diba? Even Jesus, he stopped what he was doing. Because listening is a selfless act. Listening is a selfless act. You're teaching them to be humble when you learn to seek help as well. Pero yung help na to, hindi naman yung parang, hindi ka na nagpe-pray puro ka na lang sa friend mo. Pero what I'm saying is, a part of our growth, a part of us bearing the burdens is sharing that burden with others. And the same way, kapag sila may problema, they could also go to you. Diba? So, better together. Yan. Kay Jesus talaga natin makikita yung pagiging great listener. Kaya question para sa ating mga listeners, yes, sa mga tagakinig natin. Ayan, nagmo-multitask ba kayo habang nakikinig sa podcast na ito? Charot! Okay lang naman yon dahil recorded naman ito at podcast naman ito. So, ang tanong ko, saan kayo nakarelate in terms of the lessons and the examples that we mentioned about listening? So, makikinig kami kapag nag-share ka.
Another episode. Yes, kumanta. Another episode ulit at sana na-encourage ang ating friends to listen better. Yan. And before we officially go, we have our question of the day. Yes, may paganto na tayo. Ayan. Ang tanong natin is, have you been hurt by leaders in the church? Nakaw! Anong klaseng tanong yan?
Ikaw bang tanong, na-hurt ka na ba ng leaders in the church or leader mo? Definitely, ako tingin ko, hindi man lahat tayo, hindi man siguro lahat pa tayo nasaktan, pero lahat tayo eventually, magkakaroon tayo ng sakitan with a person in the church, whether it's a leader or a member or someone na nag-a-attend lang. It's because all of us are imperfect people. Even in our listening, even in our talking, leading people, we are imperfect. Pero, yeah, my answer is, yes, we will get hurt. We will get hurt. Jesus is the only one who will not harm us, but, protect us and test us and grow us. Ikaw ba?
Same. But
But
better.
better. Gusto ko yung alam mo na yun eh.
Hirap gamitin ng term na same. Anyway, yes. Yes, and I think it's not just looking at the person eh. I mean, you don't look at the person kasi it's the act or it's the misunderstanding. Uy, ano siya? Uy. Yeah, it's a misunderstanding of our expectations from one another, from people. So it's a yes. It's a yes.
It's a yes. Ayan. So, kung na-hurt man yung nagtanong ng leader sa church, I hope God has restored you already or still
Yes.
restoring you. Diba? So, there. Sana all marunong talaga makinig the way that Jesus listened, no? So, in the end, we are all imperfect people under the mercy of a perfect God. Catch us again next Monday here at Same But Better Podcast.
If you have inspiring stories or questions or just anything you want to share, reach out lang kayo, friends. Share nyo na yan.
Email samebutbetterpodcast@gmail.com or shoot us a message on our social media channels. Listen to Same But Better Podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.